Hey guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to start a new series on Bash tutorial, and this is going to be the first part in the tutorial where we will be covering a brief introduction about the Bash scripting. So this tutorial is going to provide core and advanced concepts of Bash shell scripting. And Bash, which is a short form of Bourne Again Shell, is a shell program which was written by Brian Fox as an enhanced or the upgraded version of Bourne Shell program SH, and it was released in 1989 as one of the most popular shell distribution of GNU or the Linux operating systems. Then it is an open source GNU project, and this tutorial is going to cover most of the Bash topics such as Bash scripting, variables, loops, conditional statements, positional parameters, arithmetics, functions, strings, etc. Then Bash is the default login shell for most Linux distributions as well as Apple's Mac OS. It is also accessible for Windows 10 with a version and default user shell in Solaris 11 operating system. Now, in very basic terms, if you are very new to Bash and you are going through the Bash tutorial for the first time, so in very basic terms, Bash is actually a command line interpreter, which is the full form for CLI, that typically runs in a text window where user can interpret commands to carry out various types of functions or actions. The combination of these commands as a series within a file is known as a shell script, which means we have a lot of Bash commands which we are going to club together or write together in a file, and that file is known as shell script. Now Bash can read and execute the commands from a shell script. So now the question arises, what is a shell? A shell is a program or a command line interpreter that interprets the user commands which are either entered by the user directly or which can be read from a file, and then it is passed to the operating system for processing. Now it is very important to note here that shell scripts are interpreted and they are not compiled, as the computer system interprets them, and there is not any need to compile shell scripts in order of execution. Then there are various types of shells available in Linux operating system. Now let's find out which shell types our operating system supports. So for that, I'll just open my terminal. Shortcut for terminal is Ctrl plus Alt plus T. Then the terminal is going to pop out like this. Now to know which shell types our operating system supports, we have to type a command, and the command is cat space /etc/shells. So my operating system, that is Ubuntu 22.04.1 LTS version, it supports these different types of shells like sh, bash, rbash. And to know where Bash is located in our operating system, we have to type which space bash, then hit enter, and this is the default location where Bash is located in my computer, in my Ubuntu operating system. Now before jumping to the Bash scripting, let's quickly go through some of the most important features of Bash. I know the theoretical part is quite boring to go through, but it's better to have a brief knowledge or idea about what we are learning. Practical knowledge is important, but theoretical knowledge is also important sometimes. So I'll just quickly cover this topic. Now Bash is SH compatible as it is derived from the original UNIX Bourne shell. It is also incorporated with the best and useful features of the Korn and C shell. Then Bash can be invoked by single character command line options as well as by multi-character command line options. Then Bash startup files are the scripts that Bash reads and executes when it starts. Each file has its specific use, and the collection of these files is used to help create an environment. Then Bash consists of key bindings by which one can set up customized editing key sequences. Then this one is also important. Bash contains one-dimensional arrays using which you can easily reference and manipulate the list of data. Then Bash comprised of control structures like the select construct that's specifically used for menu generation. Then directory stack in Bash specifies the history of recently visited directories within a list. For example, push D built-in is used to add the directory to the stack. Pop D is used to remove directory from the stack. Then we have bash also comprises of restricted mode for the environment security. A shell gets restricted if bash is started with name rbash. So these were the very important features of bash that I wanted to cover before starting with the practical part. So that's all for the introduction. In the next video, we shall see a brief idea of bash scripting, how to create a bash script, how to run it or execute it. So thanks for watching.